Hey there, everyone. How's it going? We are back at day 2 of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Are you ready? That's what I want to hear. We have tons of people in the chat already. Hey, Jan, uh, I like what you're doing with my name there, with spelling my name like with numbers and weird letters. I love it. Never had an Xbox username though. Actually, I was never big on gaming. It is so great to see everyone here and ready to design because today is an epic, awesome, and positive day. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in. I'm streaming from New York City, our Adobe office here. Hey, Ariana, how's it going? Rosie, Alberto. Oh, so great to see everyone. Always just like fills me with joy to see all the names. Fatima, hello. So, I am a designer on the Adobe XD team here in New York City. I'm focused on prototyping and crazy new emerging technologies, like how can we empower designers to prototype to the highest extent possible. So it's a really fun job, and I get to walk you through some designing experiences today, and we're going to use XD to do it, the very tool that the design team at Adobe designs to create designs. It's very meta. Ariana's watching from LA at work. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Jonathan is also tuning in. Richmond, wow. Richmond, Virginia is where Matthew's from. Great that you're tuning in, also on this coast. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we're doing, if you didn't catch yesterday's challenge live stream, it was a little later than usual, but now we're back on our normal timeline. But we're doing something different, which is that you actually have a part in crafting your challenges each and every day. So let's take a look at what that means. Basically, if you're not familiar, your starting place is going to be behance.net/challenge/XD. Oh, wow. Pakistan, Sacramento. Oh my gosh. Ka is coming from Africa. Rosie's coming from the Bay Area. That's where I just moved from before coming here. Beverly's coming from Colorado. Marcel's coming from Brazil. Wow. Everyone here is just from all over the world. This is thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. So I just said that URL. This is where we're starting. And that blue button, if you haven't clicked it, will bring you in the loop to be inside the challenge where you can get notifications each day. And here we are on our second day, where you can click this link to get our starter kit. And that starter kit is going to be very helpful for you to craft your design. And I'll dive into that in just a bit. But side note, all the way at the bottom here, chat with the community. This button will take you to Discord. And when you sign up for Discord, we have thousands of designers in Discord here. And the idea here is that we're sharing our designs so that we can all become better designers. So you share on Discord, we can chat about it, give each other feedback. Other people from Adobe are on here. Moderators are on here. I'm on here. I'll be giving you feedback. I just gave Aaron John, who was submitting a challenge for yesterday, some feedback. So you could do that. And look, we just have a new one that just popped up like 15 minutes ago from Santaji, who's been active in it looks like this image is a little low quality, Santaji. Maybe you could upload a higher resolution one, or if you upload it to Behance, which I'll show you how to do at the end of this, link to that, or an XD prototype, that works too. And then we can all see it in full fidelity. And I'd love to give you feedback on that. We're looking at wellness each and every day, a different aspect of wellness. So yesterday we looked at mental wellness and designing for mental wellness. Today, another very important aspect of wellness, social wellness. And so we are crafting a how might we statement. A how might we statement is it's used in the design community a lot among designers to form a statement that you can design around. And you have this question, and this question is going to lead you through the design process and just guide you all the way. The idea is that if you're answering this question with your design, if you're providing the answer to that solution, then you are on the right path. So as designers, we're all about process, and having these bits of process will actually help really kind of bring you up as a designer, as opposed to just jumping into the visuals and just thinking about pixel design. It's really much more than that. It's about evaluating ideas on a higher level. So we have a new cloud of words this time around for another possible 256 possible challenges, all in just one day's worth of challenges, because we have 4 options in each column. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is 256. So lots of different options. Probably everyone that participates in this could do something different if you really wanted to. So what you do is you can choose a word for each part of the how might we, or you can make your own. Hey, don't be confined, push the status quo, right? So you can choose one, or it's a document. You can edit it. Nothing's stopping you. And I'm going to walk through just one example for you today, but you can do a different. When you do this challenge, you can choose a different how might we statement. You don't have to use the ones I'm choosing. I'm just showing you as an example. So I think what I've been thinking about is I think we should cultivate. How might we cultivate? I'm just going to move this up to that top part there. How might we cultivate diverse, because diversity is important in every aspect of it. How might we cultivate diverse dinner plans? I could have gone with something maybe less restrictive, but I was like, I'm just going to dive in with this one. Let's get specific. Dinner plans. Let's cultivate diverse dinner plans for musicians. Because why not? That's a group of people that love hanging out with each other. Maybe there's something with dinner, cultivating relationships, diversity. There's got to be something we can do in there, right? I hope so. And look, I chose all the ones in the third column. You can do whatever combination you want, but I think it just happened to work out that way. I'm curious in the chat, which ones call out at you? Which how might we statement would you choose out of this mix? That's what I'm curious to hear, because there's literally 256 different options. People who don't drive, I threw this in there because I don't drive, and I feel like a lot of people exclude me from their design process because I think some people assume everyone has a car. Not the case. Okay. And then the next part, once you have your statement, is to try to answer that question. You just made a question at the top. How might we cultivate diverse dinner plans for musicians? Now you have to answer that question with a bunch of different ideas. And the idea is that these are low stakes ideas. They can be anything, and you're just trying to answer that question in 3 different ways I have here. So I did this before we started, and we're also going to depict these in, we're going to try to depict these in a visual way. So jam and jelly is the first idea, which is like a recurring event. It's a weekend morning breakfast jam, and musicians can get to know each other and play music improvisationally. So it's cultivating diverse relationships, lots of different musicians. And it's maybe not dinner plans, it's more breakfast plans. It could be dinner. You can stretch the question a little bit. Do whatever you want. You're a designer, right? Okay. Musical cooking, an augmented kitchen experience where musicians can add food to their meal where you add food to your meal, and as you add food, like in a physical kitchen, as you add the carrots, as you add the tomato, it's adding sounds to a mix. So you're like making music with food. Crazy, right? That's not an app. That's a full-on embodied experience. Think outside the app. Open up the box, right? Okay. And then the last one is remote music sesh. So be randomly connected to a video chat with other musicians where everyone can jam together. And then at this point, I didn't have this sentence, and I was thinking, well, how do we tie dinner into it? Because that's one of the words I chose is dinner plan. So I thought, well, maybe you have to pay by the minute to be in this jam sesh, and then all those proceeds from paying maybe $1 per minute to be in this jam session, or 50 cents per minute, I don't know, would then go to a fund that would provide community dinners for maybe people that can't afford dinner. And so that's how it's tying dinner into it, because maybe the dinner doesn't actually have to be for the musicians, because it doesn't really specify that in the question. So you can push it however you want. So I have some emojis here, and I encourage you to use emojis, because why not? And then I was thinking we could get visual with how we start depicting these. So I'm just going to throw those in there. Where for remote music sesh, basically we have like maybe a singer, right? Maybe this guy's a singer, and let's bring him to the front. He's got the microphone, and it's being like transmitted. That's what this is for. It's being transmitted across the world to like a piano player, and we're making like a little pictograph with just emojis. So because why not, right? Why not? Let's maybe bring the piano to the front like that, but not block her face. Cool. And so that's how I'm describing that idea in emojis, because it's good to be visual. We are designers. Let's get visual. Okay. Musical cooking. For this one, let's have a pot in the middle, and basically all the different ingredients are going to be scattered around it, so that we can look like they're all going in. All the tomato, maybe there's multiple tomatoes, right? Different rotations, and then the knife is like involved because it's going to be like cooking things up, right? I don't know. This is all about storytelling and adding things to your idea to make it descriptive. Maybe actually, I feel like we could add more related to sound on that one, but we'll leave it there because I do want to get designing, because we don't have unlimited time. Oh, maybe let's do lettuce too. There we go. Boom. Look at that. Okay. And for the last one, it's called Jam and Jelly because it's fun to have a good idea, like a fun name for your idea goes a long way. So maybe we can do like it's breakfast oriented because I stretched the design prompt, and then you can have a guitar, right? Because they're eating breakfast. They're mingling and they're jamming all at the same time. Look at that. Boom. I could probably get more depictive of this one. Or maybe like this girl's on the guitar. Yeah. Maybe make it bigger. Is this fun? Do you guys like this? Oh, I've been kind of ignoring the chat. Sorry if you had any questions. But it's a fun one, right? And then we can form this into a statement. What it is, what it does, and who it's for. Just plop those in there into one sentence. Okay. And I don't have much time left, so let's get designing. But the key here is forming those ideas rather than the actual design. So this is okay if you don't spend as much time on the design as you do on your ideas. But for this one, I think what I want to do is maybe jam and jelly. Like, how can we bring people together to play music improv style, right? So I think the first part of this app, I encourage you to fill out this last section. I don't have enough time for it today, but I don't think that's an excuse for you not to. So, because that's really important. You need to be able to say your idea in one sentence. So let's have different fields that they can select for what people can play. And the idea here is that people can select what they play out of all these options. And then it's going to pair people based on what they play. So you don't have a bunch of guitarists all entering this breakfast jam at the same time, because that would not be too fun, would it? Right? Okay, let's maybe do white text. Let's go a little bolder and smaller, right? No border on this. And I think maybe like a dark background. And the idea here is let's make that a group, or actually we can make it a component, because components are better. Okay, let's make the background a little, maybe like dark, right? And it's also going to have this question. So, what do you play? And they can choose these, right? So you have guitar, you can have sing. Maybe you're a singer, and you could choose as many of these as you'd like. Maybe they all have different colors, and you are making a profile based on. The app is making a profile of who this person is based on what they can do, and it'll group people all together, so it'll bring them together, and then they can have an awesome jamming session, singing, piano. What are some other instruments? Throw them in here. I want to see them in the chat because that'll help me come up with ideas. Piano's like black and white, so maybe it should just be gray. What's another one? Flute, because why not? I can beatbox, so I'm gonna put beatboxing in here. One of these days, maybe I'll beatbox on air, because why not? So you have that to look forward to. Okay. Flute. I'm feeling orange with flute, right? Don't you think? Okay. Bass. Yeah. Why not? Don't forget the bass. I agree. Saxophone. Great idea, Santaji. Okay. Bass needs a color. Maybe like bass. I'm feeling like is like a darker. It's like boom, boom, boom. You know, it's a darker color because it's a lower note, right? Bongos. Oh wait, I have to do the saxophone. Wow, I love all these ideas. It's great because like it just fuels your design so much easier when you have the content streaming in from hundreds of people watching online. I would love to design everything this way, where just people are watching and giving you ideas. I think it'd be kind of intimidating in some aspects, but you know, maybe in others it'd be very helpful. Like when you're trying to come up with names for instruments. Harmonica! Thank you, Tara. Yes, I'm on it. Harmonica. Oh, I love that idea. Isn't that fun? Oh my gosh. Harmonica. What color should harmonica be? Maybe like, what colors do we not have in here? I'm thinking, Yeah. I don't know. The idea is, I think you'd have a bunch of these. You could come up with all the ones that you want, and you know, you could really like bring this out, but I'm just going to use repeats for this. And you have all these, and then you have a big next button at the bottom right, and then it's going to then show you different groups that, or maybe it just like plops you in a group. So maybe it has like a loading state, right, where it's like, hey, we're gonna find other people with similar interests as you, so we're gonna have like a loading indicator, right? We can do a loading indicator with dashes. So if we make our dash like 10, no, let's say 60, right? And our gap bigger than 60, right? We actually get like a partial spinner, and we can use that as a loading bar, right? And we can actually spin that with auto animate if you want to get fancy. Whoa! So it could look like that, right? Pretty fun. And as we wrap up here, it's going to show you different groups that you can jam with, or maybe just one group. It's like, we found your group. We found the perfect jam session for you, right? And it'll tell you like when it's going to be like Saturdays at 11 a.m. And maybe there's a picture of the group as well. Tons of fun we can have here. I encourage you to take however you make your design, however you answer that question. You know, take it in whatever fun way that you want, because there's a lot of like wacky ways that you can have this. Maybe you have the address, right? Anything else that someone would need when they're having that jam session. Maybe there's a button to like add it to your calendar. Maybe this app does other things besides just connect to you, right? Can it be involved with the actual jam session itself? Possibly. I don't know. And you can actually go to prototype mode, wire this up yourself, which can be a lot of fun. Basically, to do that loading spinner, we would get an actual image for this too. Oh, you know what would be fun? If you actually outline who else is in the group, right? And you can use the UI faces plugin for XD to actually put in faces of people. You can build this out as a repeat grid, and you can have everyone, their name, and maybe like what they do, right? So you can have name and like what they play, right, under it. Of course, you'll be doing probably a totally separate design, but just so you get the idea, let's not get too crazy with this. Yeah, I think you get the idea, right? You can have fun with it. Okay, lastly, you make your design, you prototype it out. You can reach out for help if you need any help, but you can share your design with the share mode tab here, and you can get a link for your design where it can be live on the web. Share it in Discord. Look, more people have been sharing. Oh, this is great. Santaji uploaded the full-size image. This all comes full circle. It's great. And then we'll give you feedback, and then the idea is that you can then upload to Behance. Upload all your gorgeous photos and images up here. Like I advise what you do is that you kind of upload something like this. Like, show us what you're choosing. What is your how might we statement that you're designing for? What are the ideas that you had before you got to your final destination? And then what is the app, right? Maybe we could try filling this out just so you get the idea. So what's it called? So Jam and Jelly, because that's what I'm calling it, is a community app that, right, that brings musicians together for, or let's say bring musicians together. Oh, okay, brings people together, brings hungry people. I don't know. You could work this out for musicians. You know, that could be a little better, but I think you get the idea. That like connects musicians for weekend jams. Yeah, weekend jamming. That could be fun. And you can upload that as an image. And having like a one sentence explanation of what it is, keep it concise, but keep it precise, concise and precise. You got it? Really helps people to understand what your design is, because you can go in any direction here. You know, your design is going to be solving a totally different problem than what my design was solving for. And so get visual with how you're describing these things. Maybe it's not just emojis, right? Because who knows what this even means without the text, right? Maybe you're drawing other like arrows and things along with it, right? Where you're showing like different connections, because why not? You can really have a blast with it here. Right, where we're kind of like showing, because we're trying to communicate these ideas as best as we can. When you're doing emojis in XD, sometimes they kind of disappear a little bit. 50 is way too big. Let's do 7. Let's maybe like add a rounded corner and a dash. Look. Oh. Look at that. Look, now they look all like connected. And we can do like some arrows for these ones too. Designers love arrows. Oh my god. Right? Everything's going inside the pot and it's making music. I did a project like this actually in Copenhagen at the Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design. And it was really fun, where we kind of simulated what it would look like to cook with vegetables that were making music. Basically, you could have like a machine learning engine with a camera on the top to like analyze what you're putting in the stew, and like as you add salt and pepper, then the shakers start. You know, it's like, because why not? So yeah, look at that. These are already so much more cohesive just with adding like some of these lines. Oh, Jan says, I will conduct with the knife. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe not. That would be a little brutal. You could have some OSHA issues there. You know, the people that manage like workplace environment. Okay, so we have an app. You could actually start pulling this together and having fun with it, because, you know, that's what I was doing. You know, people. Oh, I didn't put beatboxing in. Here we go. You could do that, because why not? Does anyone else beatbox? It's pretty fun. Okay. And there we go. That's the idea. You can make your design communicate in any kind of way that you like, that you think is strongest for you and your direction. Upload it, share it. We're going to give you feedback. We're going to help you along in this process. And with that, that's today's challenge. Make sure you're just go for all of the social wellness that you can. Strive for that social wellness and focus on making that app as usable as you can for whoever you're designing for. We're going to be back tomorrow, I think the topic is digital wellness. So if you're interested in technology and getting people on the right track with designing things that aren't like addictive, come back tomorrow. I believe that's the topic that we're looking at. So I'm excited for that. I'll see you tomorrow. This has been so much fun. Thank you for tuning in, and can't wait to see your designs. Okay, everyone. Peace out, and see you later.